Norman Mailer was less than halfway through a first draft of The Executioner's Song, a book of just over 1,000 pages, when he heard from federal prisoner 87098-132. Violence in America, a novel in the life of Gary Gilmore, was then the working title for what would arguably become Mailer's magnum opus. As in the case of his book on Marilyn Monroe in 1973, the author got the basis of his story from Lauren Schiller, a photographer for Life magazine and a media entrepreneur. Schiller had purchased the rights to the Gilmore story. The convicted double murderer was executed by a Utah firing squad on January 17, 1977. It was the first use of capital punishment in the United States since 1973, when the Supreme Court had ruled the death penalty as it was then practiced cruel and unusual punishment, in part because of a lack of uniform criteria. The states, especially Texas, where Gilmore was born, quickly rectified the problem, and the High Court approved the changes in 1976. Yet even Texas, which has easily led the field in executions since their resumption, took another 6 years to execute somebody. No one state, certainly not Utah, apparently wished to be the first to resume the death penalty in America. When Gilmore insisted that his sentence be carried out on schedule, bypassing the normal appeals process, he became a household name. His death wish sounded around the world. His picture splashed on the cover of Newsweek and most tabloids. He was quoted as telling the judge who had delivered the death judgment, "You sentenced me to die. Unless it's a joke or something, I want to go ahead and do it." Hardly a year later, on February 9, 1978, Gary Gilmore's ghost wrote to Norman Mailer. His name was Jack Henry Abbott. Like Gilmore, Abbott had been practically born into prison, grown into adulthood as a state-raised convict. His earliest memories, he said, were that of a string of foster homes he had run away from. Gilmore, on the other hand, had come from an intact, if also dysfunctional family. After repeated run-ins with the law, he had entered the adult prison system as a habitual criminal at about the same age that Abbott had entered adult prison, after graduating from 6 years of reform school and experiencing only 7 months of freedom.